Man, let's talk. We're back again with another episode. My name is Kevin Manzano Jr.
I'm Jeff Houston. I'm your host, and this is the other host and with the most. Nah, that's crazy.
And they get it.
Let's get it.
Yeah, we appreciate all the love we getting. We definitely had to drop another episode.
That's a fact.
You know what? Because it's so dear to me, let's talk about fatherhood.
Oh,
Alright.
Harper.
You know, why wouldn't we? You know, we got Harper here. The podcast is called Man, Let's Talk. Last time I checked, I'm a man. Yeah. So let's talk. Let's talk about the fatherhood. All right. So, in your opinion, what makes a great father? What makes a good father?
Man, number one is trying to be there. You know what I'm saying? Just trying, man. We have I think a bad we get a bad rep as far as black men. If you look at the numbers and stuff like that, they don't really the statistics don't really follow what the narrative is of a black man not being in your kid's life.
Right.
Did you know that? Like as far as statistics, I believe more women are on child support than men. Like
I know it's pretty wild, but that's what it says. Go to the statistics.
Yeah, but I don't think it's really about that though. I think it's really just like forget about the statistics. You really gotta worry about yourself.
Right.
At the end of the day. And what can you do to be the best version of yourself?
For sure.
For your kids,
mm-hmm.
For a healthy relationship with your kids as well. I think that's number one, bro. For me, it's just basically being there because it ain't no playbook, rule book, nothing.
Nah, it ain't no certain book you gotta go out and buy to be the perfect parent or father. It just is nothing exists.
Exactly.
Now, the best thing you would get is, reading the Bible and just learning about love. Because, when you selfless, it allows you to be a great parent. You got to start off being a good one first to be a great one. So, it teaches you just to be selfless and loving, God, Jesus, and then yourself, and then that just, trickles down to everything else in your life. So just that alone is going to allow you to be a great father. One thing that I know that allows me to be a great father is not only having an example of having my own father, like just taking care of me and helping me out throughout my life, but just always trying, like piggyback off what you were saying. It's got to be an effort. It's got to be something that you're shooting for. Like we always talk about setting goals and, having discipline or writing things down. But really, at the end of the day, you have to try.
Yeah.
And I know trying is kind of like a word. It's like not quite getting something done. It's like the attempt of it. But again, you're not born. Or as soon as your child is born, you don't just automatically become a great parent. So you have to attempt to do that.
Exactly.
Yep.
So for me, everything what you just said is perfect. For me, I also had a great example of a father figure in my life, my actual father. But you know what I mean? So
not me.
Right.
Your cousins.
Right.
Man.
Definitely, I think having that helped a lot, on raising, kids and stuff like that. But here and then I add, it's somebody I go to for advice and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Who raised 3 boys,
3 black dudes.
3 black, 3 black men. I got 2 daughters, but even I think it kind of can translate into both because I definitely feel like your kids are going to look up to you more than anybody else. So they're really going to follow everything that you do and not everything that you say. You know what I'm saying? Like
you're right.
Just because you say something, you said that, but I'm looking at you and you doing what you tell me I can't do or I shouldn't be doing. Setting. I think a lot in this new generation, it's kind of hard to separate the two. Between friends with your kids,
right,
being parents to you.
It has to be a boundary.
It has to be a great balance, right? So really it's some stuff that you as growing up,
all right.
It's some stuff growing up that we didn't see that now these kids are seeing even more. You know what I mean? Like
my mama always told me, bro. I'm talking about again. We talking about fatherhood, but it's this being a parent overall. My mom always told me, "I'm not your friend," and she did not say it in a way to make me feel smaller than her. It was just to let me know, but we are not friends. I'm literally your son and you my mother. It's just to show me that there is a boundary here. It's certain things that we are not gonna intertwined together. That's things we're not gonna do together, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We gotta set that boundary.
I have said that growing up, but I tell you now, I think about my dad's like my best friend.
Right, it's different. Yeah, it's different now.
At this point,
you're a grown man.
My dad's like my best friend, so I can literally feel like I can go to him for everything and anything.
But you still want to come to him like a friend and be like disrespectful. Like it's still a boundary set.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
So I still I remember my dad. He laughs to this day. It's like I don't even cuss around my parents. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm trying to tell him something and tell him what somebody else said, I don't even feel comfortable cussing.
You clean? You on the radio version?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
My dad's like, man, just say it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, yeah.
It's that respect.
So
you know what I'm saying?
It's a respect I have for my parents. Like I just don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I can see him saying that.
So yeah. So definitely, man.
I can't even think that cup. So at least you can think of that.
Right.
I was like,
man. Yeah, well, it's wild. But for real though. Yeah. So basically,
what else we got? Oh man, one thing that we want to talk about too is as a man, because it can be tough, but learning how to communicate without being angry, without using anger to use in your communication. Like you don't have to be overly forceful. So I just want to talk about that, and I experienced it. It ain't like just because you're a father, you the head of household or anything else that represents you as a man. That doesn't mean you don't get angry, but it's the way you handle the anger.
Right.
Because a lot of times as a man, we get angry because we didn't communicate the issue or the problem.
Right.
So what we doing is really letting stuff fester in our body. Like we just holding it in.
Yeah.
So we said it one time and thought that was going to be it. But you might have to reiterate the issue or problem that you are having either in your relationship or just in your personal life. Yeah, just in your community.
No, that's 100%. I think that, you definitely don't have to raise your voice or, get loud and stuff like that to communicate. Man, just talk. Say how you feel. And I think what comes with being in a great relationship is having that communication, because if you can't even communicate, the relationship will never work.
And that's any relationship.
Yeah. You see, I didn't say
exactly.
Like
I just want to break it down to make sure it's not just like your spouse, your partner that you are, you with every day.
And even though with us doing this podcast, if we don't communicate, the podcast is not going to last long. It's not going to work.
Exactly.
I want to do this, I want to do that, but it's like you have to communicate that, because in any friendship, relationship, bro, you have to talk.
You got to. Ain't nobody read nobody's mind. I know we got the technology, everything's good, but man, at the end of the day, if I got a vision for the podcast and I don't enlighten this brother on what I envision, how can he experience that vision? I put it to be. Like in him and vice versa. It's just like no way he's thinking something and I have no idea what he's thinking. And it's like we get out here and just start talking. It's not gonna work, bro. It's just not gonna work. Yeah. So
we wouldn't have no chemistry out here if we didn't talk, and
exactly.
So I definitely feel like that's definitely, man. Communication could be the answer to a lot of things.
A lot of problems for sure. Because
you're gonna hear that a lot in this podcast.
If you're not talking about communicating, guess what you're talking about? Miscommunicating. Because it's one person communicate. Let's say you called me or text me, but somehow I didn't get the message.
No.
So, in thinking you didn't talk to me, why did I just call you to make sure?
I got a great analogy
now,
but I just thought about. Imagine you're in a different country, right? And your leg is about to fall off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can you, and you gonna speak the language, and you trying to look for a hospital? You gonna sit there and bleed out because you can't communicate with none of these people over here on where to get help.
Exactly.
That's deep, ain't it? Like,
it's deep.
It's like that's trouble. If
you gonna be in trouble. Yeah.
You gotta if you in a foreign territory and you can't communicate with nobody to get help,
yep, that's powerful too. You said foreign territory. That's what you're in life when you don't communicate. You are in a foreign territory.
Facts.
Because you're not allowing you're not equipped.
Well, we stay in foreign territory. Think about it. If you don't know it, you're in a foreign territory. So even when it comes to the camera and stuff like that, if you try to shoot something that is foreign territory. You don't know what the settings and nothing like that. You're in foreign territory.
Exactly.
You gotta call somebody and ask for help. Like, hey, what does this mean? How to shoot this? How to do that?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's like. That's what it is, man. This is all different. Like different. It's like we in all different countries. Whatever we do, like you're an expert in plumbing. I don't know nothing about plumbing. Man. When I open that manual up, it looks like Chinese to me.
Yeah. For sure.
Like it goes into everything. That's everything in every facet of life is communication.
Man, I'm telling you, communication is the key. People say it all the time. You know, just in overall life, you got to communicate to get through life. That's how you manage your life and get through it, like, it's positively and in a great manner. You got to communicate. Even down to the stuff that you want to accomplish, you got to tell yourself, you got to tell someone, you got to put in the work. You just got to do something that's going to get you towards anything you want.
I got another analogy. How does Harper communicate? Right. You're gonna cry. You're gonna cry until we figure it out. We gotta go through all this list to figure it out. It's like, man, it's the same. It's everywhere. It's everywhere in life. Communication is the most important thing in life when you're trying to get to the next level on anything. And it just clicked to me. That's why I keep kind of
and that's why we doing this podcast, because when stuff happens to me like that, while we doing this or just in life, you have to say it immediately. Stop waiting to like hold in. Well, I'll just say it tomorrow. Like if stuff's downloaded to you, tell somebody. Because somebody else, that's why God's downloading it to you. Because He wants you to tell someone else. It's not for you to be like, oh, man, I know this. It's for you to push that out to somebody else. It's to help more people. Because everybody can't hear God. That's the thing. They can't hear Him because they're too far away. They don't believe, or they just don't not they don't have a relationship enough to hear. So that's why we really doing this. You gotta be a willing vessel first.
That's
you know.
That's 100%. That's 100%. Like that's real. Like that's just really real. I know we talked about on the last podcast about what we talk about, because something just hit me. Setting goals.
Okay. Yeah.
And stuff like that, right? And we never. I don't really thought. Like, I didn't really get to hit on that manifesting stuff, but I really want to hit on that manifesting, because you said, like, everybody can't hear God and stuff like that.
Yeah, they can't hear Him, or they're not sure. You know what I'm saying? They can hear Him, but they don't know if it's God or their thoughts. You know what I'm saying? It's like a battle, because their spirit is not quite enough to like discern it. You know what I'm saying? They can't hear it clear enough. It's like they hear it. I know. All right, we're gonna start calling you Spence. You see, we got Spence over leaning. Nah, picture me leaning.
My baby, man.
Yeah, I already know. I ain't gonna mess with her. All right, cuz, keep your head up.
Hey, she over there sleeping. She just woke up from a nap. That's pretty good at that. But yeah, man. We definitely, So what's next on the docket, though?
Man, we want to talk about roles in your relationship, and now we more so speaking of like your spouse or your partner more so, but just even as a father, a son, a uncle, niece, nephew. Relationships are key. So setting the thing to look for when you trying to establish what makes a good relationship, especially like with your spouse though, is kind of setting them boundaries on what are we comfortable with. One thing I would say, I enjoy to cook and clean. So I know that's deemed as, I guess you would think a woman would do those things more so. But at the end of the day, me personally, the things that make me happy is good food that I fix, and the house to be clean. That's just preferences of mine, So me communicating a role that I prefer to have, that don't mean I don't work and do other things, but it's just something I might actually enjoy. That's gonna help the relationship. Just letting each other know what we like, even if the stuff that we don't like. Because y'all can balance each other out. Y'all supposed to be equally yoked. That's the whole purpose of being together. If not, if a person you with can't bring you up on your weak points, and then vice versa, why are you with them?
100%.
For looks,
right?
Likes on Facebook and Instagram.
Right. Yeah, that's real.
How silly is that?
Yeah.
Shoot. So what would you say? Like, what? How do you establish your role in your relationship?
Man, I think it's finding, like you said, your roles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not looking at everybody else like,
Right.
oh my gosh, man. It's so many different podcasts and different like videos and so things on social media tells you, yeah, it's supposed to be like this or like this or like this. That's how their relationship is.
Mm-hmm.
Their relationship is. I can't tell you how your power dynamic is going to be in your household. I can't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? There's no right answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like it's all roads and all this other stuff. I can't tell you that. As a man, you are supposed to lead, supposed to lead and stuff like that. But outside of your roles in the family, like when it comes to the cooking and cleaning and all this other stuff, man, it's a different time. It's 2023, like you said.
Right.
Like so, it's all on you. And I don't really like to get in other people's like all that extra like how they live their life. Because everybody living their life, man. It's all about happiness.
Exactly. You gotta pursue it. You gotta pursue happiness.
And do what makes you
Yeah.
happy in your relationship.
And don't be afraid to, like, all right, let's say playing basketball, playing the video game, and going out partying is what I like to do from 20 to 25. I turned 26. I don't like those things anymore.
Right.
Recommunicate what you like now.
Boom. Ooh,
you see what I'm saying?
That's good.
It's not about what you used to like, because you're going to change as a person. I
That's
mean,
good
you
too.
have to. There's no way nobody's going to stay the same.
I think that's heavy right there, man. Because I was just having this conversation with my wife not too long ago too. It's like, man, I change every day. Yeah, I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? As I get older, and I'm definitely not the same person that I am when I first met my wife.
Yeah, right. And
Like,
it wouldn't make any sense for you
to
to be.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm a way different man. You know what I'm saying? And definitely learning to, like I think I said this before in a previous podcast, talking about like sacrificing and stuff like that, like knowing what you got to do, but never sacrifice your happiness though.
Right.
You know, like you can sacrifice things like if you like cooking, she like cooking, or like I do what you don't like to do sometime, and then she'll gonna do what she like to do sometime. And that's okay too. You're not always gonna like do what you like to do all the time. That's life.
Come on, yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I definitely feel like that's important to say. Outside of that, I feel like what I like, I do want to get to a point where my wife is at home taking care of the kids, cleaning the house, stuff like that. And that's the understanding we have. And she wants to do that too. She's cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah, like.
But you communicate.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Like, but that's me. I like the traditional structure.
Mm-hmm.
But it works for me and my wife. Your wife might not be like your wife or girlfriend, whatever, might not want to be a stay at home. She might like her job and want to go out and work and stuff like that. And that's something y'all gotta talk about. And you might have to sacrifice. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what makes her happy.
Exactly.
So you can't force it on her.
You can't take away part of her happiness.
Yeah, because you want
just to satisfy your ego.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
It,
right. No, facts. So that's what I get to too. Is that's very important. Finding your roles in your relationship, not the role in the relationships. No, because everybody's role is different. I doubt it very seriously if you go ask your friends and y'all relationship is exactly the same.
Right. They're probably lying to you anyways.
Yeah.
But for you saying that, the main reason why y'all got to that point really is because you communicated with her, but you're actually willing to do the work. Cause you gotta think about it. If that's what you want, you know you gotta make sure everything else is like financially cool.
Exactly.
Like to where it's what you gonna receive.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Some people want that, but they're not willing to put in the work.
Exactly.
So you gotta be disciplined and do your due diligence to make sure that in which you want to get accomplished,
that's why
you can do it. You know,
that's why I do it. Y'all be like, I do a lot. That's why I do so much.
Exactly.
The goals that I'm trying to reach is goals that maybe it's not what you're trying to reach or what somebody else is trying to reach. I work at Ford. A lot of people at Ford just work at Ford and living a great life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not cool with it. So I know what I have to do. And it's also communicating. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the best communicator in the world. And we all struggle with, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you
that's why we're doing this podcast.
Right, yeah. Like sometimes you forget. And that's the thing too. we gonna be real on here. A lot of these other podcasts and a lot of things you see, they so fake. Eventually, it's gonna come out and be exposed. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna tell you what you can't do, and then you find out, man, they been doing everything they didn't told you not to do for the rest.
For sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's how I feel about it, man. Like yeah, that definitely hits home for me.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, I love this idea. Like again, the kind of what we talked about earlier, how like your purpose is not only manifested, but you gotta pray for the guidance from God that you know this is what you're supposed to do. Cause ever since everything been moving very fast for me in my life, like we came up with the podcast. I don't know what I said. I just came up with the name, but it's like God keep downloading stuff into my brain. I just gotta say it. So we came up with the Man Let's Talk, like I don't know, in a couple hours. Shot the first episode the next day, and I started my personal training business probably maybe with this is where my purpose was, because you have to move. Stop saying no to your yeses. You know what I'm saying? You keep saying no to your blessings. It's like at some point God will give your gift or the gift that you're asking for and praying for to someone else, because you keep saying no. You keep telling God no to stuff that He's giving you yeses to. So it's just not gonna work. I just felt like somebody needed to hear that.
That's real.
You know?
That's real. Yeah, that's definitely real. Man, so what's next? So we got anything else? So do we got any other topics for today?
Nah, that's
it. Yeah. Oh, I feel like it was that flew back.
Yeah, that's hey. When you talking that positivity and that straight up word, hey, that's what you get. But I do got something to say. I can add something here because I think we was doing the taping, but maybe it didn't get through on the first episode. But I just want to reiterate that the people who's reaching out to us, we hearing every comment, the word is spreading. But I like to tell people like examples of real life, and so I was like bringing my laundry in the house to my apartment complex, and the young dude stopped me. It was pretty late at night, but I'm never like a person that's startled and stuff. Like I'm always a person that can be reached, because I'm not better than nobody. And so he stopped me and just wanted to chop it up a little bit. And so I was talking to him, and then I let him know that we got a podcast. And he was like, "Oh, it's good, man. I think it was meant to be that I ran into you today," because he asked me how can he get out the streets because he's tired of living such a hard life, and he didn't have a father in his life. And he's 17, I'm 30, so it's not like I would be his father, like in that age range. But the fact that he reached out to somebody for help, he didn't even know we did the podcast. He didn't know I did the personal training, and I told him both things. But it's just like everything when it comes to positivity, it has an appointed time. And God's just showing me over and over again that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Because he asked me those things. And I told him straight up, the first thing he needed to do is seek God. And second, check who he calls himself like friends with. Because a lot of dudes, when they don't have a father, they befriend anybody that wants to be their friend. And most of the time that doesn't come out good. So, to see another black young dude at that, I don't want to see him go down the wrong road. And I'm not gonna release his name, but just know, man, I'm out here to help you, to make sure you good. Stay on the straight and narrow. But you don't need me. You need God first. But I can be a mentor to you and mentor to a lot of young dudes.
Bring him close to the God.
Yeah, right. Because I just don't want to see, this generation after me, just go down a road that they can't reverse from,
That's good.
Real. That meant a lot to me. That made my week. It didn't make my day. It made my week. I was just in awe of that. Like, I'm good enough. Like, God allows me to speak into someone else.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought, I never thought I was even good enough to do something like this.
That's real. I feel like that's probably the best place, if ever, to end it. That story like that, for real, though. Yeah, so it's been another episode, man. Hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure y'all like and follow, subscribe. Man, continue to hit us up in the DMs and let us know.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all have any questions, anything y'all want to discuss,
Any topics?
Like
Yeah, topics, for sure.
Yeah, questions. Cause we can do a question. We can use y'all questions and do a whole questions podcast.
Mm-hmm. So definitely a Q&A. We got y'all.
So we could definitely do something like that, man. I know a lot of people have been asking what episode is. Here it is, and it's coming. So make sure y'all support, share, like, comment, subscribe again. I'm Jeff Houston. This is This is
Kevin Manzano Jr. And guess what? This is Let's Talk Podcast.
There we go.
We out.